I'm sure we're live. I'm trying to do something. Give me a second. I got my fingers stuck. Yes, you got your fingers stuck? Yeah, I have fat fingers. Sorry. I was trying to close the door and move the fan. The fan was on rotation and I got my fat fingers stuck in it. And I just kind of like, oh, stop everything. What's up, everyone? What an intro, right? Yeah, I'm silly. I am the High Priestess Phoenix. I am your spiritual healer, teacher, shaman, seer, oracle, lightworker, starseed, earth angel, mystic, medium, psychic, witch, yogi, guru, evangelist, sybil, messenger of God, child of God, the Lilith, reincarnated on another one, and another one. Let me take a breath. I got my fingers stuck. I just told you that. It hurt. Anyways, I did. Why? I was trying to grab the fan and it was pushing at my finger. Right before I went to get on here, I wasn't going to do this right away. I was going to have lunch first, because they serve lunch at 11, and dude, they've been serving the best food lately. I had, like, chicken cordon bleu the other night. I was like, oh my god, this is delicious. They had tamales yesterday. Fucking loving life. Ah, it's great. My kids don't ever eat it, bro, but I'll eat theirs for them. I feel spoiled. Anyways, right before I got on here, I saw this video from Lumen Moon. She's an all love and light, bro. I've never heard her say anything negative in any of these videos. She's a total affirmation of good shit that you just, like, need in your life. Anyways, she's like, I just read the fucking thing, and it was all, God, you're highly favored by God. I was like, yeah, thanks, God. Fucking God. Fucking God. If you would have caught my earlier video, you wouldn't have felt such ways. I don't feel such ways. I'm like, I am here for 56 more years doing a community service, which is hell on earth. I'm repeating Groundhog Day for 56 more years. Yeah, I'm very favored right now. This is fucking karma like you would not believe, bro. What is it? I have to talk to fucking alien life forms and try to give them the apple? Hi, I'm Lilith reincarnated. I'm the one that gave Adam and Eve the apple. So you know what I gotta do for the rest of my life? Is give them the apple. I have to re-feed them the fucking knowledge and wisdom that they already knew. Or it should be buried deep inside. I don't know. You guys are their descendants, and I'm supposed to give it to you again. And do it better. Do it the right way this time. I guess. That's what I'm supposed to do every day for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life, I'm supposed to feed people knowledge and wisdom from the gods. I feel so favored. I'm so honored to do such a fucking shitty ass job. In essence, that video was like, dude, do you realize I am the goddess of hell? I'm stuck here trying to get you bitches out of here, and I can't leave either. I have to sit here and get you out, and you don't even listen. Like, seriously. And that goes on for the post I just posted. I was like, you know, I know everything, and I told Big Sean, if you do this, this is going to be like career suicide. Like, this is social suicide. This is ripping you and stripping you of all divinity if you go on tour with this douchebag. I told him. He has plenty of time. He has more than 2 months to make this decision to not go forward with this stupid plan that I tell him is a very bad idea. Will he do it? Stay tuned. I'm not waiting on that decision. I already see it. And you're like, you did this. No, the fuck, you did this. I told you which way you were going and how this was going to go, and you didn't do anything about it. The fuck did you want me to do? Oh, I meant you to curse him. Shut up. You cursed yourself. Idiots. All day long, that's what I gotta do, is tell you how to get out of your hell. Okay. With that being said, God pissed me off with all of this stuff already. I was already pissed off by God to begin with. Not today, God. Not today, God. That's what I gotta do every day. It's Groundhog Day. I gotta teach an old dog new tricks. Dumb. Lame. Anyway, I'm so favored. I started with this dumbass book. Some dumbass shit. It's some dumbass shit. My whole flesh wants to reject this, and I can't reject any fucking religion. Anybody that praises God, no matter how they do it. I gotta, oh man. Why? What I read? Nothing. I just got overwhelmed. I guess it's probably how you feel when you pick up the Bible. I don't want to read this shit. I don't want to read this shit. I don't want to know this shit. What the fuck is this shit? I tried to figure it out a little bit. It comes with some interesting pictures. Only a few. You want to see the pictures? Let's talk about the fucking Mormon fucking pictures, the Mormon Bible. Who are these people? I don't fucking know, bro. I don't know. I'm not Mormon. We're just trying to include them into our group. Be nice. This is Moroni. Lilith, don't do it. You look like a very moronic person. I couldn't not do it. That's that voice. Do you hear the voice of God telling you to be good? Yeah, the other one's louder. Moroni buries the Nephite record. Okay, that makes more sense after I tried to break this code all by myself. Alright, he's burying this the hidden scrolls. I want to show you this. This is really where you kind of lost me. I was like, oh, is that Mother Cabrini's shrine? Is that Red Rocks? Jesus Christ visits the America. Painting by John Scott. See Nephi 11, pages 427 through 430. I was like, oh, is that Mother Cabrini's shrine? That's where my my imagination took me with this one. That one was real good. That was a good one. Samuel, the Lamanite prophecies. Okay, what's a prophecy? Meaning I saw this shit was about to happen. Alright, so we're kind of doing a Moroni for dummies. Don't say it, Lilith. Okay, keep going. Alright, Alma baptizes in the waters of Mormon. Mormons have their own baptized waters. I don't know if they allow all colors and races in there. I'm being a cunt. This is why I'm like, yeah, God favors me. He really wants me to do him a favor by reading this shit to you. I don't know. Lehi and his people arrived to the promised land. Yeah, everybody swears they know where it is. You were promised that this would be good land. How'd that work out for you? Yeah. What'd you come with? Were you guided by the birds? Was it supposed to be your land? Let me guess, you got there and there was other people and you had to destroy them to create this land for yourself, right? And Jesus came to you in America and told you all this? I know, right? I don't know what's going on. I'm creating my own story just like they did. Leah discovers the Leowana. What is the Leowana? Leowana. Sounds like marijuana. What's in the cup? What's in your cup? The prophet Joseph Smith. There he is. That's the guy that God came and talked to. He was a prophet. He wrote this book or something about it. I don't know. He's their prophet. We all have a prophet, right? I don't know. Everybody's making a profit. That's a good one. Write that down. Everybody's making a profit off the word. Ooh. That was a great shit. What am I doing? I don't know. Jesus is not very pleased with my work. Does that look like Jesus to you? Well, Mike, what did you see? I don't know. I see a guy I don't want to see. Anyways, the Lord Jesus Christ. What is this about? I don't know. I tried to break it down and I started looking at it. And it really, after the pictures, it gets to this. The first book of Nephi. On the accounts of Lehi, L-E-H-I, Leah, and his wife Sarah, and his 4 sons, being called beginning at the eldest. Hey, beautiful. Laman, Lamuel, Sam, and Nephi. Right? Yeah, they're all blooming, and more are coming out. Look at them. They just keep blooming out. It's amazing. The other one...
You're still dying.
I know. So sad. It was a plan of sorrow. I didn't know it was going to make me sad. I wasn't sad till I brought it in, and now it's dying, and that's sad. Alright, they take the daughters... Well, I don't know. It's account of... Alright, this isn't my book. This isn't the one I want to read. The Lord warns Lehi to depart of the land of Jerusalem, because he prophesieth unto the people concerning their inquired and they seek to destroy his life. Alright, so I guess he gave him a vision that they're coming for him, and he told him to take his family and flee. He taketh 3-day journey into the wilderness with his family. Come on, dude, now you're looking like fucking Nacho Libre. He's like, how did you find me? We can see you from the city. What are you talking about? That's like me on my camping excursions. Not really far. There's a fucking Pizza Hut around the corner. We were never far from a Walmart. Alright, in essence, God just wants you to take a weekend vacay. It's a 3-day. Now if he taketh his breath and his... What? Shut up. His brethren, and returneth to the land of Jerusalem after the record of the Jews. The account of the families and the departure into the wilderness, the suffering and afflictions in the wilderness, the course of their travels, they come to the large waters. Nephi's brethren rebel against him. He confoundeth them and buildeth a ship. Who wrote this? See what I mean? I am so not the person for this. They called the name of the place Bountiful. They crossed the large waters into the promised land, and so forth. This is according to the account of Nephi, or in other words, I, Nephi, wrote this record. Alright, bro. Does anybody want to take over? So, okay. This is what I got out of this, and I'm not getting in any more of this. I'm just honoring the people that honor God. Oh, God. What is it? God spoke to a person, and this person revealed the messages. They worshiped the message of this person, and they lived by those messages. The person said the messages came from God. Can anybody else tell me what the difference is between their prophet and all of ours, other than maybe the wording in the book? But not really. Let's proceed on. Let's talk about the Melchizedek order. Melchizedek, please stand up. This guy has an account where Melchizedek comes to him. A spirit identifies himself to this man as Melchizedek. And he creates this order. And in this order, Melchizedek has brought other people to him that they have witnessed this man too. It's a prophet, is what you would call them. Or Holy Spirit, an angel, whatever the fuck it is, a messenger of God. Same as Gabriel, right? I jumped into this book. I don't know where we were. I want to address where we are today as with the Melchizedek energy and where we need to go. I'll begin by talking about the new birth of freedom. The interpretation of this last new age is not dissimilar to the interpretation of this one, but it got obscured. The key is service. This age is about egalitarianism. Anything related to Lilith is the egalitarianism. It's the highest level form. And again, you'll see in all my pages, I am like one of the few people that are always around eagles. So the service, and that's why the Eagles won the Super Bowl and all of that. Go scroll back as much as you need to. Go look through the hidden scrolls. They're not hidden, it's public information for all to see. This age about egalitarianism is egalitarianism, so the service has to be applied equally. Please stand up. Equality. That's me and all these fucking dudes of God. I'll begin, blah, blah, blah. And they cannot be prejudiced about gender, race, religion, age, sexual preference, lifestyle, or any of that. Who taught that? Say it again. Say it again. Say it again. Okay, I will. Alright. There cannot be prejudice about any gender, whether male or female, them, they, or those. Race, any color, any religion, even if they're moronic. Sorry, that's not nice. No jokes. Come on, I'm just having fun. Any age, sexual preference, lifestyle, or any of that. The last New Age was opened in intent. But as time passed, there was a lot of closure between the old and the new Judaism and emerging Christianity. Then the patriarchies that involved largely eliminated the feminine principle. This is the Divine Feminine Awakening. I am your leader. I am Goddess. I am God's first creation of himself in the female form, remade over the span of time, in all different places I've always been called. He's trying to call me to the next generation and the next civilization that needs me, and I'm not answering that calling, but it's what I was created to do, is mother his children. You are currently in hell, on earth. I am the goddess of hell. Jesus is coming to judge. I'm here to get you out of here before he locks the gates. So you're on the other side. Part of the cleanup crew. 56 years of bullshit to do. 56 years of bullshit to do. Alright, let's keep on moving on. Anyways, they eliminated the feminine principle. Still later, more limitations were imposed in the term of race, economics, and so on. So you could say that the original intent suffered a long, gradual sabotage. In this new age, the goal of individual freedom is individual freedom, and that's why there is no hierarchy within our order. Everyone has an equal share and an equal opportunity to serve. Those being served gain a different perspective of what a priest is. When you talk about a priest or priestess, again, you're denying the feminine energy here. No matter what your background, there's baggage that goes along with that word. So we have reinvested the word priest with the new essence and meaning. For example, there are women priests, and that's a priestess. And that speaks for itself in the terms of service to males and females. When someone is asking for a priest and a woman walks in the room, there are three kinds of responses. It's desire, it's expected, or it's surprised. It may have happened here and there, but I don't know of anybody who has been refused the opportunity to serve as a priest because of their gender. Meaning it's a common belief that women aren't allowed to serve God. When I walk up and tell people I'm a priestess, they ask what that is. It's a priest, but a female form. I'm a servant of God. I'm a preacher of God. I'm a messenger of God. I mean, ultimately. And that's just like, you can't walk around saying you're a high priestess if you don't serve God. What God? Which God do you serve? Which God do you speak of? My ancestors. Who are they? Are you just assuming that you're connected to this skin because you've worn many skins? You are the ancestor that you speak of. What are you talking about? Dorks. What the fuck are you doing? Anyways, go back to it. It may have happened here and there, but I don't know of anyone, blah, blah, blah. To be sure, there has been plenty of such discrimination in traditional churches. When I was in seminary, males were preferred, and those preference was given to Caucasian males. Others were neglected to lesser jobs and lesser opportunities. We are now in a transitional period from one age to the next, from the old thought forms of the last age to the new age. The order of the Melchizedek is here to help bridge the gaps between them, through example and service. Melchizedek itself was both male and female, brought together in one form. It took hundreds of years of birth, life, death cycles, and incarnations to prepare the way for the emergence of the two new avatars which complemented each other. Miriam and Yeshua, Mary and Jesus, were the male and female energies split between physical male and female manifestations, but they represented one teacher. One Redeemer, the Messiah, took them where they... I'm getting visions. Hold on. I'm seeing too much. Hold on. Bright light. Okay. They were representations in two physical forms. Today we can adjust, let's see. No, I jumped too fast. Energy split into physical male and female manifestations, but they represent one teacher, one Redeemer, one Messiah. Together they were representations in two physical forms. Today we can address the andromedry of Melchizedek straightforward and be understood that we could have been even, better understood than we could have even 10 years ago. I'm seeing all of them. Uriel, depending on your understandings, is Andromedan. Uriel can be known as female or male. Gabriel, female or male. Many of them, Andromedan. Going back to the Mona Lisa, it showed the masculine aspect on the male, and which we know is on our left side, and the feminine. Going back to Hosseid I can't say his name. I can see it, but I can't say it. It's the balancing of your male and female aspects, right? In all history, there was always a counterpart. You know what I mean? None above or other, but equal in value. And the best example is Odin and Freyja. This is not a time for separation by gender, nor is it a time for denial. By our example, we demonstrate what humanity is responding to, and how to get it from here to there. I hear very positive stories from the priests, how others are responding to them and treating them, especially how they feel, how well all the women are being received, which really is a wonderful thing. For the most part, the priests are neither rejected nor challenged. The people feel their energy, listen to them, and know that they are true. Many of the traditional dominations are locked up in the priority of internal process and such like, so it would be impossible for them to pick up somebody off the street, so to speak, to come in and teach, heal, or do service. Yet that's exactly what our order does. They're building an army of God. In the sense of that's what God, he picked up. No. Jesus wandered, and God brought the people. And that's what it was. And it's always taught. God will bring you the right people at the right time. And though they are not what you are, they will become like you, because you will be a service to them and teach them. Through you, they will learn how to be. Right? I teach people how to have the Christ consciousness. And I encourage you to, again, be a teacher later, to walk into your priesthood, to walk into your power, to tell your story, to help unheal others. As it says. Say it again. Say it again. Say it. You guys know who that is, right? Anyways, okay, sorry. So it would be impossible for them to pick up somebody off the street, so to speak, to come in to teach, heal, or do service. Yet that's exactly what our order does. Some of the priests feel comfortable in more traditional role, and some of those women whom serve may also feel more comfortable with that, and that's okay. In the sense of there's a place for you in God's kingdom, where you can have a service. You have a service. You can be of service to mankind. Come as you are. I made this huge video earlier. I kind of ran it in rave. I don't know what I was doing, really. It just came flowing out all kinds of different directions. And at the end, it was like, you guys just need to stop following people, and you need to accept that you're all right the way that you are. But it all started with this fact that the video was talking about, magnetize yourself. Your video was talking about you bring in all these unhealed masculines. I was like, that's all I ever get is unhealed people. That's all I ever get. That's what I'm bound to do for the rest of my life. I'm a healer. They need healing. That's what they come to me for. They come, they get healed, they get better, and they leave. Can you please stay around and help me heal other people? In the sense of, I teach all of this because I can't get someone to come and help others, to be a service. There's a fucking Mormon on my page, bro. There's a Mormon, or somebody that knows one. And even though he is a student of the Mormon studies, in our class, he can be a teacher. He can teach us what he's learned. When the student is ready, he can become a teacher. Instead, the teacher has to become a fucking student around here. And I will, but, like, you know, going back to tarot, I get so fucking irritated. Like, I'm not a fucking tarot read. I want to point out, I promised you, I'm going to teach you tarot. This is your last reminder. This is your last reminder to get you a pack of tarot. And though I said I was going to upload it, I will. I can't tell you specific what date, maybe today, maybe tomorrow. We're going to go through the first suit. I'm going to teach you tarot. But in the sense of there's so many people that read tarot so many other different ways that could be teaching this class for me. And I can, you know what I mean, I can tune you into some better teachings and stuff, but there's nothing wrong with the way that you are. You could have come over here and teach them. We could teach together. Instead, I'm teaching from nothingness to person. I'm going to teach about Buddha now. Thank you, guys. Please step down. Step up, Buddha. In the sense of, we're not apart. Everything's here, and they all want to be heard, and I have to get, you know, I am a voice for all, but you're their descendants, and you have a voice, and you know their teachings, some of you better than me. I need teachers as much, you know, that's where I get frustrated. I need people to walk in this shit. I need teachers. There's so many students. There's so many people that need to learn, and I my job is to teach them all things. But some of it you already know, and you could help teach what you know. And that could lighten my load, and, you know, you could be honoring your God and your teachings and your family and your culture and your understanding. You know what I mean? And, you know, just as a messenger like me. And I could sit in the crowd and learn from you. Instead, it's like, oh, I got a lot. Let's just keep going. Buddha, this came out of nowhere. I don't know. Like, I was just staring at it for the longest. This book was open in my hand for like 2 minutes. The dog literally came up and licked my face, and then I got out of the book. Where are we? I don't know. Who is Buddha? That's it. And then I'm going to just start right here. That's all I know, bro. This is where he told me to read from. It's telling a story on page 20. What is the book? From Nothingness to Personhood. A collection of essays on Buddhism from the Vaishnava Hindu perspective. Hindu, Vishnu. They're all part of a same family of traditions split off. Just like, oh yeah, going back to their prophet. So their prophet Nephi. They're telling about a story of a family, another family. So like Judaism and Israelites and all these people, they believe in a specific prophet of a time. Not everyone walked, you know, followed Jesus' story. They followed their other prophets. There was many other prophets before Christ. And then after Christ, there was many other, you know what I mean, prophets that came to affirm, you know, teachers. They called us something different. As time changed, they called us other things. You don't really hear me call myself a prophetess. But that's what they were called. You know what I mean? A seer, a sage, a shaman. These were all native workers that were prophets. Alright? A mystic, a medium, those terms came later. Same thing. A prophet. Okay? You know what I mean? So, going back to my book, you know, this is the one I just showed you. These are the ones that study the Melchizedek order. It talks about a man who now is a prophet. You become a prophet by becoming the messenger. But the messenger is given by, you know what I mean, another messenger and another messenger. Right? So as we're about to start Buddha, where did Buddha get it from? Where did Jesus get it from? Where does Lilith get it from? Where do we all get it from? Where did Isis get it from? God. Listen to this story. At that precise moment, while contemplating these thoughts, he was attacked by a demon Mara, the god of desire. Okay. Wherever we are in this story, this feeling had a name, was represented by a god. I am the goddess, and I teach you that your divine feminine feelings have a name in time, which is a form of the dark goddess. Listen again. He was attacked by a demon, Mara, the god of desire. After trying to distract our hero with numerous ways, they're talking about Buddha. They tried to distract him, which was, a distraction is what? Tempt him. The first beginning of this story, wherever we just walked into, whatever we just stepped into, is that God is tempting Buddha. He's testing Buddha. At that precise moment, while contemplating these thoughts, he was attacked by the demon Mara, the goddess of desire. After trying to distract our hero numerous ways, Mara decided a more subtle approach was in order. He sent, Mara being the god of desire, sent his 3 beautiful daughters named Lust, Thirst, and Discontent. Here's more temptation, more sin, as it's said in our book. Right? The god of desire sends his daughters Lust, Thirst, and Discontent. Okay, go back to the Pleiadians that I read about yesterday. The Pleiadians are beings from the Pleiades stars. The Pleiades stars are known as a star system of 7 sisters, right? And each of them was a representation of a characteristic. Okay, just want to point all of these things out to you. Okay, hoping that these obstacles would dissuade Buddha from his mission. After many such trials, temptations, and privations, the Buddha experienced transformation under the Bodhi tree. He attained the enlightened state and journeyed outward to share his new revelation with all who crossed his path. Okay, going back to the very beginning of the Mormons, what did they say? What does the story say? It says about a family that God gave them a prophecy that they were in danger, and he sent them out into the wilderness for 3 days. The book is about all the trials and tribulations and suffering they went through in those 3 days. What the fuck is the story about Jesus? He sent him into the woods, and then after that, send him out. And it's all about the trials and tribulations to spread this word. He sends Buddha into the woods. Trials and tribulations. So then he has to go out and spread the word. Melchizedek, go through all this life trials and tribulations. You got to go out and spread the fucking word. What am I here? What am I here to do? I tell you what I've been through, and I'm here to get you out of it. That was considered a prophet, a chosen one, a light worker. God put us through something so that we can get everyone else out of that something. If you can't get out, then you must look to us that have gotten out and get out. And then you got to get other people out. But at this time of survival, you can only get yourself out. And it's going to take everything in you to get out, and you might get out with nothing. He stripped us. What did he do to Moses? What did he do to Joseph? What did he do to Mary? What happened to Magdalene? It's a stripping. They call it alchemy. Applying fire. He burns down everything. Who you were. And calls upon you to be a servant for him. Again. After many such trials, temptations, and privations, the Buddha experienced transformation under the Bodhi tree. He attained the enlightened state and journeyed outward to share his new revelation with all who crossed his path. If you are worthy. That's what happened with Odin. He hung from the Yggdrasil tree. There's always a tree. It's always the same stories. They hung Jesus on a cross. What was the cross made of? Anybody? He was tempted. You know what I mean? He went through hardships, only to gain everlasting, eternal life. It's part of it. Now, the next part says, who was he really? Who were you really, guy? How did you... And that's it. It's like, how do you become that? You overcome. The becoming is overcoming. How did you become so spiritual? How did you become so enlightened? How did you become so Christ-like? I overcame the things that weren't like that. The details of Buddha's life, as summarized above, are already at odds with much of what is found in Vaishnava scripture. The Srimad Bhagavatam, and I got that down there, the Bhagavad Gita, for example, gives the following information. Originally in Sanskrit and then rendered into English. Then in the beginning of the Kali Yuga, the Lord will appear as Lord Buddha, the son of Arjuna, in the province of Gaya, or Gaya, I don't know, just for the purpose of deluding those who are envious of the faithful feast. The above verse is interesting on a number of levels. First of all, the Sanskrit word used in connection with the Buddha's incarnation is, oh gosh, I'm not breaking down their literature, which literally means will take place. So it is a prediction. The Bhagavad Gita, compiled 5,000 years ago, actually prophesizes the coming of Buddha's incarnation, who indeed appeared in the world 25,000 years later. When was this book written? How long ago was Jesus alive, guys? Can anybody tell me this? How do we date time? What's the year? 2025, correct? Jesus was alive 2,000 years ago. The Bhagavad Gita was written over 5,000 years ago. And then 25,000 years later, he shows up. We knew of Christ since the beginning of time. Now you have to go back to the original. He restarted time. There's before Christ, BCE, and then there's after Christ. Time restarted with him. Do you understand that? Okay. But where was Buddha when this was happening? Where were the times? Did God only give you one? Or how many times has he sent someone to all different lands to proclaim, you know what I mean? To teach the people his ways. Why would he only teach one people when he wants the world to walk his way? He came in many tongues, in many skins, in many ways, every day, to teach people to walk away. But the verses are various in historical details concerning the Buddha parentage and the place of birth. Instead of naming Queen Mayadevi as his mother, we are told here that it is Arjuna, and instead of Nepal, it is Gaya, which is the Siber state. What, if any, are we to make of this? Some scholars attempt to resolve the dilemma in the following way. After Queen Maya ultimately death, they didn't write that right, it was not Prajapati, the Buddha's aunt, who raised him, as much as most texts say. Rather, it was his grandmother, whose name was Anjuna. This would effectively make Arjuna his mother. Regarding Gaya, and it is a curious fact that although the historical Buddha was born in Nepal, he is said to have achieved enlightenment under the Bodhi tree in Gaya. In other words, even Buddhists say that he became the Buddha after traveling to Binar state. Thus, while Siddhartha may have been born in Nepal, the Buddha was born in Gaya. Interesting. This reading makes sense according to both Buddhist and Bhagavatam tradition. There is, however, a more likely explanation, one that relates to the many Buddhist concept mentioned earlier. Buddhist texts teach that there is basically 3 kinds of Buddhas. Alright? I don't know. Humans who aspire to the Buddhahood. The next one is enlightened souls who try to help others. And the next one is the original transcendent Buddha, the supreme entity. Now, the Buddhist tradition we may remember regarding... Okay, as they said that, I saw priests. I saw the Catholic clergy. They're all fucking priests. They're all priests. Oh, my dog's barking in her sleep. She's chasing something. How cute is that? Get up, Nana. They're all priests. They all do the same job. Some of them are here as humans who aspire to be like God. Some of them are enlightened who try to help others find God. The other ones are, a form of God as a priest. They're all priests. Thus, if we consider the Siddhartha Gautama, I don't know, the founder of the Buddhist religion, was not an Adi Buddha, literally the first or primordial Buddha, but rather a perfect human being, and indeed a Pali Canon speaking of him as one who attained a Buddhahood after years of penance, what is this word? Austerity and meditation. Well, that's where they believe that you have to give it all your life to even hit that enlightened state. But the guru will teach you that. He listened to the fucking Beatles and had nothing to do with any of this bullshit. And I can teach you that. There was no teachings in my Christian upbringing that taught me about enlightenment or mediumship or any of the shit I do. Alright. Jesus is looking at me like, what did you mean I didn't teach you the wonders of God in that book? I guess. I was about to say, but you didn't say that we would inherit such wonders, and it's like, that's exactly what I said would happen. Well, it's not written very well. And I guess that's what they're arguing right here. So I guess they're probably trying to argue if we just walked into somebody's bullshit-ass conversation. And they have it all right here. I'm reading the upper part, but this is all of the whole breakdown of this text and all this bullshit. They have a full argument going on that we just walked into. They're trying to say that he reached a level of enlightenment. He wasn't always enlightened. And that goes back to Jesus. Jesus was no more than a man. They said that he was always a God. But he reclaimed, God took him at a certain age to a state of enlightenment. That goes back to, what happened to me. I woke up at 40, just like Jesus. The dude over here, the Melchizedek order, Dan, woke up on his, literally that morning of his 33rd birthday. We just woke up. I don't know when Sangaru woke up. He said it, though. He was literally just under a tree or some bullshit, is what happened to him, too. Just woke the fuck up and knew everything. He's like, I don't even do this shit. And he himself was guided to take off, to take a fucking journey with God to figure all this out. And that's what God always did, is he pulled us apart. He pulled us away so he could, try to ground us and try to make some sense of this so we could, and none of us wanted to go to the people. They'll never accept this. They'll never accept me. I can't be a servant to you. I'm just one person. The people will never accept me. You know what I mean? He was the Prince of Egypt before he was, the God of the Jews. And that's it. It's like I was the person that persecuted them. They're never going to accept me. No, they're going to. This is the divine feminine waking. They have no choice. You're who I sent. They will. And you have all of them to back you. And that's it. I've got all of the gods. And that's where they go back to. You're highly favored by God. I'm doing the job that gods before me always did. I'm doing God's work. So all of God's authority and everyone that's ever done God's work is here with me as I work. Because truthfully, nobody else is doing it. It's disheartening that, you know what I mean? There's nobody of the Buddhist people to come here and teach, you know what I mean, outsiders their teachings. There's nobody of, you know what I mean, I can't get an Israelite to come to a Judas, anyone that speaks that studied Judaism. I can't get anybody from these sectors of God to come speak on God's behalf. I have to learn all sectors and bring all of them together. And it's disheartening, because that shows the division. They won't accept us into their doctrine. But we have to accept it, you know what I mean? And that's why we have to be the change. We have to understand their doctrine. We have to accept it to be accepting. And that's what, you know, St. Patrick understood. When God gave him the vision, one priest, he told them to go back to the people, the very people that kidnapped you and kept you hostage, the barbarians. Go back and save them. And he went to the church, and the church said, okay, you could take a couple people, but, you know, God be with you. And that's Mother Cabrini who sits up there. Mother Cabrini was not from America. She had a vision. It was her heart's desire to come to Colorado. She saw it in her heart. She asked the church if she could come here and be a service to God here in Colorado during the times. What was happening during those times? The gold rush. People from all countries were coming to America. She wanted to be a service to God and the children here in America. She didn't stop here. She started here. She went on to do great things, not just here in America. She went to Central America and South America. But she came from, you know what I mean, that church came from the Vatican. She never went back. I mean, she did. That was a whole nother conversation that was rejected by the church, so she came back and kept her ministry over here. We have a calling on us. And you don't see it coming, for sure. Jesus didn't know when he was sitting there and, with his mom and his family. He didn't know. Moses didn't know. Nobody knew until you know. And now you can't. You know what I mean? It's like, what's happened? God has come to me. He has spoken to me. He's called me to help his people. How? I don't know. He says he's going to help me. They're all going to help me get to them. It's a very different video I'm having today than this morning, where I was like, these are your problem and your people, and why do I got to do all this all the time? This is my servitude. I've always done it, but in the end, it's like, I just want to live my life. I did live my life for me. And now I have to use that life that I had for me to inspire others to live for him. Sucks, right? I mean, it doesn't. With great power comes great responsibility. I don't get to take it off, bro. Like, no, I just want to be a normal person today. I just want to go do some normal shit. This guy, I had to walk up to the store. I'm like, alright, I put on some shorts. It's supposed to be hot. I put on a t-shirt. God's already fucking with me. What happened? My car won't turn on. What do you mean? My battery's dead. Which is not a huge problem, but I'm in a very full parking lot, and I can't get someone to give me a jump in unless it's somebody that's already parked near me. So I have to sit and just wait until somebody rescues me. Like, really? Kind of, sort of. So that pissed me off. So anyways, I'm going to walk up to the store to get what I need, and I'm like walking up there. I'm like, alright, it's hot out. I don't want to be sweaty. Put on some shorts. As soon as I step out, this dude's trying to holler at me. He's like, you got a number? And I just look at him like the whole goofball I am. I'm like, what do you want to call a priestess for? I said, what? I said, I'm a priestess. What do you want to call a priestess for? He said, what's a priestess? I said, like a priest? Like, like I worship God? Like a witch? So really? I said, yeah. I was like, well, you got a number? I was like, you watch YouTube? I said, yeah. I was like, here, take my card. Watch a video. My fucking email's on there. If you want to still holler at me after that, then you can call a priestess. But I'm a priestess. And it was funny. At the same time, I was like, I know what I am when I walk out, but people don't know what I am. And he just wanted to talk to a girl. He thought I was just talking to some basic-ass bitch. I know, right? I look like a basic-ass bitch today, don't I? No, I ain't a basic bitch, bro. You're talking to a priestess. I was like, your spirit told you to come talk to a Holy Spirit. That's what I told him straight to his face. I was like, I'm a Holy Spirit. I'm an earth angel. Like, you were brought to me to wake the fuck up, I guess. I said, really? I said, yeah, here's my card. He said, answer your email. And I walked away. I was like, I'm not going to hold my breath. I don't give a shit if you believe it. That's why I sent the dude this message. I didn't hear from him. I was like, did I scare you away? Well, here, check this one out. This might make it even better. Not! You can't make it better, bro. Either you're going to believe it or you're not. Leave me alone. Forget it. I can't make you believe it. I can't. Anyways, let's get on to evangelism as if it didn't get weird enough. Spirit-led evangelism. What is this? I don't know, bro. I'm looking at this book. It's got a bunch of bullshit. The gifts of the Spirit in evangelism is where I went to. Scripture, verses 5. Acts, verse 5. Then Philip went down to the city of Samaria and preached Christ to them. That's all we do. Hey, you ever heard about this? You know about Christ? Verse 6. And the multitude with one accord heeded the things spoken by Philip, hearing and seeing the miracles which he did. For unclean spirits, crying with loud voices, came out of many who were possessed, and many who were paralyzed and lame were healed. And there was a great joy in that city. Now an angel of the Lord spoke to Philip, saying, Arise and go towards the south along the road which goes down from Jerusalem to Gaza, or Gaza, I don't know. This is a desert. 27. So he arose and he went, and behold, a man of Ethiopia, an eunuch of great authority under Candace, and a queen of Ethiopians, who had charge of all her treasury, and came to Jerusalem to worship. Alright. Who's talking to Timothy, bro? Who the fuck is he talking to? It says the Spirit of God. When I tell you that God speaks and that they're telling me to talk to you, who the fuck do you think I'm telling you is talking to you? Alright, so God tell him, hey, I need you to go here, here, and there. Alright, God. Guys, the Holy Spirit wants me. I gotta go somewhere. Right? Why are you going? I don't know. He didn't tell him what to do. He just told him where to go. And then when he gets there, there's people that want to talk to him. He realized there's people there that are waiting for him. Okay, now go back to the people. Who are these fucking people waiting for him? The same God that talked to Timothy talked to an Ethiopian man of great authority and queens of the Ethiopians. He went to a man and some queens and told them to go to the same place at the same time to have this conversation. That's what we call a divine connection, a divine orchestrated meeting. Why did you bring me here, God? I'm seeing what happened to me in the desert of Arizona. Bro, when I turned down that road, it was I drove all over America, bro. When I went down that road, I got the feel like this is where it happens, bro. This is that feeling that no person ever wants to drive down this road. What was it? It was like Lightning McQueen, bro. It was this dead-ass, fucking 2-lane, broken-ass fucking road in the middle of the desert. And I'm supposed to drive it for 6 hours. I'm looking at it, I only have like 3/4 of a tank, or three, you know what I mean? I only have like a third of, I don't have a full tank of gas. I'm looking at this. My spirit is saying, this is the way to Las Vegas. You have to drive down this dirt-ass, weird-ass road. I'm driving for hours and there's nobody. There's nothing. I'm like, oh, fuck. About an hour and a half in, still nothing. I'm watching the gas. I'm like, damn, this is just not the thing. I'm looking at the fucking GPS. There's no cities. There's no towns. There's nothing coming up. 3 hours, 4 hours. It's dark. I see a light coming up on both sides, but it just looks like some, I don't know. When I get closer, it just looks like another deserted town. Right as I go through this crossroad, my tire pops, bro. In the middle of fucking nowhere. On a dark road. Nobody's passed me. I haven't gone nowhere. I don't really know where I'm going. I'm in the darkness. All I can remember is I just passed a light less than a minute ago. I've got to wobble this thing back to the light and not be sitting in the dark. So I go and I park in the dark, or next to this light. and I'm like digging my shit out, and I'm scared, sort of. I'm very scared. The kids get out of the car. It's 3 o'clock in the morning. They're gonna walk the dog. I tell them not to go anywhere. I'm gonna try to get this tire on. I gotta do something, right? And I take out everything, bro. My car is packed to the brim. I've got all of my life out on the side of the road, behind my car. It's dark. My kids are like 20, 30 feet away. I've got a jack in my hand, and I'm trying to do the lug nuts. And all of a sudden, a fucking light turns on in the distance. I know it's headlights, and it's coming right at me. And I am fucking scared, bro. I am so fucking scared. I don't know what they're gonna do to me, dude. This is like every scary movie you've ever seen. The Hills Have Eyes is what's on my mind at this time. These fucking hillbillies are gonna fucking rape me, and they're gonna kill my children. They're gonna take everything. It's just scary. I don't know where these people came from. There was nothing, and all of a sudden there's some lights that turn on, and they're coming at me. And I'm so scared, and they come up, and they're like, "Can we help you?" And I just start crying, because I'm afraid they're gonna hurt me, and they've come to help me. And they help me. Why did you bring me here, God? Why is this happening, God? Where am I going, God? Why have you done this, God? I cried so hard in Las Vegas when I finally did all that. Why did you bring me here, God? I wanted you to see it. What, God? I failed. No, you didn't. You walked down these streets brave. You were brave. You were going to do my work in my name. You walked in the brightest lights and showed that you were this. And he showed me Oklahoma, where I was scared to be seen as a witch. But it didn't work, God. It worked. It worked. Where am I supposed to go now, God? I just want to go home, God. Go home. I'm going to be homeless, God, in my car in winter. You'll be okay. Go home. You don't know what he's doing, bro, but he's perfecting you. And he's taking you into the wilderness, well, as far as he can, whatever wilderness that might look like to you. It's very unknown. And he's going to tempt you, and he's going to test you, and he's going to push you, and push you, and push you. Was it God? No, it's Kobe. Kobe came for God. Kobe did that work for God. All three of them. Push her. Show her what she's made of. Make her believe that she can do such things. They couldn't let up on me. God wouldn't let them. But then there was those times where they couldn't protect me either. You know, when the magic came. And things would happen, and yet I'd scream at them, "You did this." There's no such thing as the devil, bro. They say in the Holy Bible that, you know, the devil tempted Jesus. The devil had no power over Jesus. Temptation had no power, in the sense of Jesus had to sit there for 40 days overcoming it. He had to overcome all temptations of the flesh, all fears, all desires, his need to go back, his need to know. He had to overcome. They tried to put that into words. Well, what did I just say happened to Buddha? What happened to all of them? They stripped them. They stripped them of their majesty. You know, Paul especially. Man, Paul was out there killing fucking Christians, bro. He was killing Christians. And he became the most killer Christian ever. And that's exactly what happened, you know what I mean, to Moses. He was killing them. Only to save them. You're gonna have to turn against your own people, to save God's people. I know you think that your people are chosen, bro. But if they choose to exclude or to not include the rest of the people, then they're not God's people. What Christian could you be, Mr. Plum, if you don't think that Miss Fry, because she's a Baptist, or the Mormons that knock on your door every day, or that beautiful fucking Muslim that came in near your deathbed and sat next to you at the hospital isn't going to be in heaven with you? What kind of Christian are you if you don't believe that that these people will make it to God's kingdom, despite the book they read out of? Jesus said that God's kingdom was for all. And that's where he told me I had, that's that final fight. That was his person, bro. I couldn't stand his fucking neighbor. I felt like she was, you know what I mean? But in the essence, I saw her as a faithful child of God. And we're having a conversation where his belief says that she's not going to heaven. Why? She's done no harm to no one. Oh, because she didn't get baptized the right way. That's what he came down to. It's in my video somewhere in there. It's horrendous. I was like, your church says that she can't go because of the way she was baptized? I just did a baptism in the fucking middle of the mountains. Does that mean I'm not worthy? What about people that have no access to water? Quit fucking around with me, bro. Quit fucking around with me and saying that these people can't find God and they're not welcome and God doesn't love them, bro, and he's not protecting them and he doesn't live within them. How dare you? It's hard to see God in them, bro, but God sees them and he sees you making it harder for them. If you cared so much about her, then why don't you save her from her church and put her in yours? If you think she's due to damnation, why don't you save her from her damnation? If you truly believe that bullshit. That she's going to hell because she didn't practice the way you did. Why don't you save them? Why don't you convert them? Why don't you bring them to your church so they can be saved with you? It's not your job, right? It's all of our jobs. It's all of our job to make sure that they know that they are saved in Christ, bro. They don't really need to understand that. That's between them and Christ, that understanding. We just need to make sure that they know it, bro. Jesus loves you. I'm Jewish. So? He especially loved the Jews. What are you talking about? I'm Muslim. He loves you too. I'm Haitian. He loves you too. He loved all of you. If you don't realize that, that was where he sent us all to. He sent Timothy, white boy Timmy. Hey, Timmy Turner, I need you to take a left and go down there and talk to the Ethiopians and tell them Jesus loves them. Sure, God. Sure. You know what I mean? You want me to tell the witches that God loves them? Yep. I want you to go save some souls out there. These people believe they sold their soul. Jesus fulfilled these 9 reasons for fasting. Oh, now we're in reasons for fasting. Why? Alright, here you go. Do you fast, Mr. Plum? That's a Christian Orthodox teaching. If you don't fast, you might not go to heaven. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. You and that pork chop ain't getting you to heaven, according to these teachings here, buddy. We're killing animals. Thou shalt not kill. Oh, shit. Did you just kill that bug? You're not going to heaven, God. You're not going to heaven. You're a killer. You better get on your knees and, do your Hail Marys and shit. See why they don't fuck with us Christians? You guys are no better on your sides. There's no side. God's on all sides. Just said quit playing around. Quit fucking with each other. Anyways, 9 reasons why Christians should fast. To obtain God's support in order to accomplish His will. When asking for God's help in a difficult situation. For help in seeking God's direction. What is fasting? I mean, food especially. Again, Jesus was hungry for 40 days and 40 nights. I did my first fast for 40 days and 40 nights. And then I tried to eat afterwards, and that was the worst thing I could have ever did. Why? The Spirit told me to. They thought I was being crazy then, too. I'm sitting in a church of people that have done this forever, and all of a sudden I'm a new member in my spirit. Your God is telling me to do something that none of you do. I don't think they believed I did it. My mom watched me. I lived in the house. I didn't eat. How did you not eat? I drank a lot of stuff. I still smoked cigarettes. And every time I got hungry, I read the Bible like they said to do. I did what they said to do. Every morning I woke up and I wasn't hungry. You're only hungry so many times a day. You overcome the hunger. You don't wake up hungry. That's how these starving kids stay starving. Every morning they're not starving from the night before. They're on an empty stomach. Once they start moving, they start starving. That's where I am. I'm fine until I start burning energy, and then I'm getting hungry. How many times a day do I eat? Usually 1, 2. 2 lately. I'll have lunch, and then I'll have dinner and a couple snacks. But before, no. Once a day. If that. Sometimes I'd be going, and I'd be like laying in bed. Wake up in the middle of the night and eat something. Then it's a whole nother day of move. I didn't stop to eat. Did you hear your stomach? Yeah, it wasn't important. Do you hear your stomach? How do you think skinny girls stay hungry or stay skinny? It's not important. But how good does it feel on Thanksgiving to fill yourself with all kinds of great foods? Do you do that every day? Anyways, whatever you want, stick in your face. I want to kind of control that a little bit. In the sense of, you're still going to, if you want a BLT, I want one too. Put a fucking couple slices of ham on there. God said I could still go to heaven eating like this. You do realize that if we didn't kill any of the pigs would eat us, right? If we didn't kill such animals, they would overpopulate and eat us. You do realize that, right? Like, hogs, they would eat us. Like, Mr. Plum told me some scary stories about those animals. Those are the scary things. Those population control. Why are we going to just kill an animal and not eat it? Are we going to give it to the other animals? What are we doing here? In the sense of, it's funny. And that's why God has to come in and do population control quite often. In all different forms. Like, bro, if the fucking locusts that come out every summer lived longer than one summer, and they just kept coming out every summer and fucking, by the thousands and millions like that, dude, they would eat us alive. They must die. They must die. And there's, going back to it, especially the pigs, bro. If we just had unbelievable amount of pigs, nobody ever killed a pig ever, bro. They just overpopulated everything. That's the same as goats. And everything. It was overpopulation of an animal because that's all they do is fucking repopulate. Think about a chicken, bro. You're not gonna like this. Mr. Plum told me about this. A chicken is born with the ability to conceive an egg every day for all its life. How does that work? Well, it's supposed to have a baby, and if you take away the baby, it'll make another one. And you take it away, it'll make another one. And you take it away, it'll make another one. It keeps making more, right? According to him, a chicken makes one egg every day, and you're supposed to go grab that egg, and then it'll make another egg. Now, if you don't grab the egg, it'll raise that chicken, or it'll raise that chick, but then it'll go have another one. And then it'll have another one. And then it'll have another one. And then it'll have another one. Till when? Till it dies. How many fucking chickens do we need from this? Somebody start taking these eggs. It won't stop laying eggs. If we don't start doing something about these eggs, we're going to have too many chickens, and we're going to have a chicken flu. Overpopulation. If you don't put that bitch, if you don't stop fucking that bitch, she's not going to stop having babies. You guys have too many babies. There's too many mouths to feed. There's not a car that makes... I really said that to my brother's baby mama. She has 9 kids, bro. What vehicle holds that many car seats that she can afford on welfare? My brother says she has a Sprinter. And she's married now. And, he takes care of all of those kids. None of them, they never had any more. She has, a lot of baby daddies and stuff like that. Okay. You need a bus. Yes, we are capable of having a baby every however long. But then that's where science comes in and says, do not have sex for the next 6 months. And then you wait till that 6 months period, and now you're like me, and you have 2 kids that are 18 months apart. See how that funny shit works? You better stop it. You know what I mean? This is what we do. Overpopulate. 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 Going back to this whole thing about, you know, maybe animals were hard to come by on your side of the planet. But going back to it, if they never killed a cow, how many cows would there be? We think it's fucking weird that people eat bugs, but they eat bugs because there was nothing else to eat. You know what I mean? Like, in Colorado, we don't have fresh water holes. Like, we got, you know, the salmon and stuff like that if you catch fish, you know, in those waters. You gotta go to the Colorado River where the water flows to catch it, just like any fucking animal. If we didn't eat the livestock of the land, then what would we eat? Do you know the land? This land is your land. This, we were just eating fucking, you know what I mean? This wasn't Eden. There's not, you know, it wasn't those California, or the fucking avocados from Mexico still live in Mexico, bro. We didn't have no avocados. We don't have the fucking oranges from fucking Florida. We don't have the Georgia peaches. We'd have to go all the way to Georgia. Georgia. Like, in the sense of, yeah, you're known for, you know, what grew in your lands. But if you know this, if you know how farming works, you can only farm certain stuff in certain lands. So in essence, what the fuck were you going to eat? We're just going to eat, and now I'm seeing, oh god, the black-eyed peas. You guys still do that, so you still... Can we talk about a southern thing that people do? Alright, so the Civil War, I didn't know anything about this. I'm a Yankee, I'm from the North. I learned about this living in the South. The Civil War, so the North came in, and they burnt down all of their, you know, they burnt down all their crops, which is, again, their way of life. They can't provide, you know, it's their economics. They burnt down their economics. And they left the black-eyed peas. They didn't think, in the North, they gave that as horse food, or it was, you know, food to the animals, not to the people. So they didn't think to burn down the black-eyed peas. So then, you know, when it was all said and done, and in the famine and shit, they still had their black-eyed peas. So it's a tradition that on the new year, people of the South, in honor to this chosen food that they ate when there was no other food to eat, they choose to eat this shit, which I've never had, on the first of the year. It's a tradition. They're doing it as a tradition, as a remembrance to those that came before them and had nothing else to eat. As a child, and I sat at the table, I'd be like, well, we got better food to eat now. Let's be grateful for what they went through. Why do we got to go through it too? Why do we got to relive this? I don't want to eat those. Going back to it. You eat pieces of shit for breakfast? I mean, there's, you know, if you put some salt on it, yeah, that's all there is to eat around here. I just want to point that out. People try to, you know, they try to crucify you by everything. Something as simplistic as to what you eat. I got pissed off in that book. The last time I was reading the Buddhist book was talking about, or no, the last time I was reading the Hindu book was talking about, you know, you're not supposed to eat meat. You gotta try this. Tell that to the dinosaurs, bro. Why did God make dinosaurs that ate meat? If we didn't eat meat, where would we get our protein from? Peanut butter? Okay, peanut butter pants. Shut up. Where do peanuts grow? You're so stupid. That's going back to the fucking... I'm seeing the killer whales. They evolved. That's why they're like the smartest species. They evolve. They adapt to the environment. In essence, they were never supposed to be eating stingrays. But they learned to, you know what I mean? They learned new hunting techniques, and they learned to eat something they never ate. Like, I don't think we're supposed to be eating tofu, bro. Who the fuck made that shit up? You know what I mean? Like, this doesn't come from an animal or a plant. What the fuck is this bullshit? Plant-based. Oh, I love that. I saw Derek. She's like, where are you going? I'm not eating that. It's a plant-based burger. And he's like, I'm going to get a real burger. Meaning, you're stupid. You want something, but you want the fake version of it. You're telling yourself that this is a better version when you know you want a burger, but a plant-based burger isn't a burger. It's plants in a burger form. You're trying to trick your mind into telling yourself that you're eating a burger and you want me to eat that too. Why don't you just go get a burger? Why? Because you feel conflicted. It's bad for your cholesterol. You're gonna die anyways, idiot. Die happy. Fuck. Nobody said you had to gain 600 pounds, eat a 600-pound burger every day of your fucking life. What happened to the 4 basic food groups, people? I'm hungry. You're not yourself when you're hungry. I'm very religious when I'm hungry. And don't tell me I'm not going to fucking heaven because I eat bacon. Bacon. You guys are fucking Kevin Bacon bullshit, dude. This is stupid. People are always trying to tell you how you're not worthy of God for some stupid shit. You can't talk to God like that. I talk to him all day like that. He still loves me and makes me do his work and blesses me. What's your problem? Don't tell me who God is. Your God doesn't accept you in such ways? Who told you that? Who told you God doesn't love you? God will never love you like this. No, maybe your boyfriend won't, but God will love you no matter how you come to him. I'm going to end on that note and go try to find me some unhealthy food that probably will deem me as, ungodly. I'm going to go eat me something ungodly. You guys, that was the best thing I've ever said. Alright, I love you. Laters. Bye.